Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm your host, Broden Kreitler. Whether you're a diehard sports fan or love the thrill of competition, we've got the latest highlights, breakdowns, and stories that keep sports fans on the edge of their seats. Let's jump into this week's episode. Welcome to Down to the Wire. On this episode, I have Lucy with me today from the Color Guard. Welcome, Lucy. And today I got some questions about high school and how senior year doing, and obviously the Color Guard. So first I want to ask you, what are your plans after high school?
So I plan on going to a university, hopefully, and I'm going to major in music education, specifically vocal music education, and earn hopefully a master's degree, and then go into the teaching world.
Nice. Well, that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully it works out for you.
Thank you.
So Bank's been telling me that you're pretty active in programs or clubs in high school. So I was wondering, what all do you do?
Wow, I do a lot. So I do FCCLA, which is the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. It's like a leadership club. I do the Triumph Music Honor Society, which I'm the president of. I do Speech and Debate, which I'm the historian of. I do Thespian Honor Society, which I'm also the president of, and Theater Club, which I'm also the president of.
Wow, that is a lot. That's a lot of work and responsibility. How do you balance all that with, schoolwork or homework even?
I'll get home from doing whatever, and I'll immediately just go into my homework, and I try to keep in mind that in order for me to do all this fun stuff, I have to keep up my grades, and I have to do my homework, and so I just try to keep in mind that in order to do this, I have to also do things I don't want to do.
It's really stressful at times.
Yeah.
So for all the people who may not know or may not familiar with the Color Guard, would you like to explain it real fast? Yeah,
so the Color Guard is a part of the marching band, and we are the visual performers of the marching band. So we use flags, we use rifles, we use sabers, we dance, and we march on the field. And we basically just express the music and the theme of the show.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of your guys' performances, and I really like them. The songs you guys pick out, I really like and think they're really interesting. So what made you join the Color Guard?
So my friends had been in marching band before I'd even joined. They do the actual band part of it. But one of my friends was in Color Guard, and it was actually like one of the last days before we had gotten out of school, and tryouts were that day. And she had came and asked me if I wanted to try it, and I was like, oh, I don't even know what Color Guard is. So she explained it to me, and I was really hesitant at first to join.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes before tryouts, I just decided to go, and I ended up making the team, which is awesome.
Wow. That was a friend got you into it and worked out, and now you're having a lot of fun with it, so that's great. Do you have any dance, cheer, or maybe band experience before starting?
Not technically. I haven't been a part of a dance team or a cheer team. I have done, I am doing musical theater, so I get a lot of dance out of that. I help choreograph and teach, but that's really about it on the dance aspect of it.
Just a little bit of experience, but not much.
Yeah, not a lot.
What was your first performance like?
Definitely nerve-wracking. With any time I perform anything, I get super nervous and I doubt myself. But then I just think back to all of the work I'd put in. And after performing, I just stand there and I soak it all in, and it's just wow, this is why I keep coming back to this.
I feel like a lot of high schoolers and younger people definitely experience the nerves and gets nervous for performances or sports events, and that's just something you gotta learn how to deal with and control, and then once you get out there, it just goes away really. So what kind of skills are hardest to learn at first?
So there's a lot that goes into Color Guard, specifically marching. So we, along with the band, have to learn how to march on the field. So that's one aspect of it. And then, of course, we have to learn our flag moves, which it's kind of unusual. It's not really like any other sport because we're spinning around 6-foot metal poles. Not everyone's doing that. So you have to get used to the pole first. And then you have to trust yourself with it so that you don't whack yourself on the head or in the shins. And it's something you have to get used to. And then also just trusting yourself and making sure your technique is right, because if your technique isn't right, you're not going to catch it at the right time, or you're going to hurt yourself. So all of that, and just learning to march and dance and act and spin all together, I think is really hard.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot to do in just one performance. I mean,
yeah.
Unlike the Emeralds where they're just really dancing, they do flips and whatnot.
Right.
Like you said, you got to catch the flag, or, whenever you do the weapon, and it spins in the air for so much time.
There's this very small frame of reaction time for us to see if it's going to go up high enough, if we're going to catch it on time. Yeah. It's a lot.
So how long does it really take you to, pick up stuff like that, like throwing the flag?
So it took me a while. I had I had tried out before the color guard season. So I had the summer to learn some of the tricks and stuff. And it took me a couple weeks, definitely. Like I said, getting used to the flag is really strange because, not a lot of people are waving all around metal poles. So it took me a while to get used to it. But yeah.
Yeah. What goes through your mind before you perform?
Again, with any performance, I get really nervous. But I just think back to all of the practices we've had, all the fun that we have, and I just get really excited to perform because, we've been working weeks and months on these shows to perform for people, for people to enjoy. So I obviously get really nervous with anything, but then I'm just like, oh, I'm really excited to do this and I want people to watch.
Well, do you have any pre-game rituals or superstitions before you perform?
So before every performance, mostly home football games, the color guard, we have to show up before the band, obviously, because we do our hair, we do our makeup, we have to put on our uniforms. And what I think is really cool is that we all get ready together in the pack, and we'll do each other's hair and we'll do each other's makeup. But one thing that my coach does is she is obsessed with glitter. So we have spray, we have hairspray, we have eyeshadow, we have lip gloss, and she just douses us in it. And that's kind of our ritual, I guess, is just putting on glitter for every performance. It makes us feel a lot better about ourselves, and it's just really fun.
That's kind of, I don't know, kind of strange, but
yeah,
that's what makes it fun, stuff like that. Yeah, and how would you say the color guard's chemistry as a team is?
I'd say we are really close. Not only just the color guard, but also the marching band, because we're one big group of people. Yeah. And sometimes it's really hard to get along in such a big group of people because you're not going to be able to talk to everyone. But we really all do get along very well. I joined color guard last year, so this is my second year doing it, and everyone opened me into the group with open arms, and I had been there the entire time, and it was super cool. Because I've been in other groups where I've felt like such an outcast and I didn't belong because I didn't have as much experience as everyone. But with this group, they didn't care, and they welcomed me, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I never really hear about too many people coming into or being in programs where it's mean or bad vibes. It's every program I've heard good things about here at St. Gen, so that's good to hear. And then what's been your favorite show or performance this year?
So, I've loved both the shows that we've put on. I think I love the music, I love the choreography and everything, but I definitely have to be a little biased and say my first ever show with the marching band, which was last year, and our show was The Black Swan. I especially enjoyed it just because of the music selection. It really gave me a chance to just sort of act out because there was a natural storyline with it rather than just, playing the music and liking the music. But also with that, our uniforms. I love my uniform last year. We got these really long ballerina skirts and we got to wear feathers in our hair, and we had a really cool eye makeup, and we had an outfit change during the show, which I also thought was super cool. So I definitely have to say last year's show. Yeah.
Does the color guard compete in any competitions outside of school?
Yes. So we compete along with the marching band, and I'd say we go to 3 or 4 competitions during our season. But yeah, we go and compete with the marching band outside of school.
So how does that work?
We'll go to another school and we'll compete. I know we went to Ste.GenevieveBroadcast High School this year. Yeah. And basically how it works is that we'll show up here in like the morning, and then we'll all ride the bus together to that school, and we'll rehearse for a little bit before we actually perform, and we'll perform in front of like 5 judges, and then we'll kind of hang out for a little bit, and then we'll come back for awards and see what we got, and if we made finals, we'd perform again. But
nice. That sounds like a good setup and probably lots of fun, I assume.
Yes, it is a lot of fun.
So what sport events does the program really try to focus on, or, what's coming up here in the future that you guys might do some performances?
With the color guard?
Yes.
We mainly just focus on football games because, again, we're a part of the marching band, and marching band does football games. But I also do winter guard, which is kind of like color guard, but obviously we don't have the band with us, and it's a lot more dancey, and we perform at basketball games. I think that's about it. But just, football, basketball.
So you just said there's a difference between winter guard and the color guard. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah,
how that works?
Again, color guard is part of the marching band, and that's us actually going out on the football field and marching and spinning with them. But winter guard, we obviously don't have the band with us, and that's in the gym. And we're still doing all of our flag work and our choreography, but it's a lot more dance heavy. And not only that, but our shows, like our themes of our shows, are typically a lot deeper topics than just a marching band show. Like this year, our marching show was A Sky Full of Stars. So it was a very like light, happy show. But one of our shows this year for Winter Guard was about like anxiety and dealing with depression and stuff like that. So they're a lot heavier shows, and it's just a lot more dance heavy in Winter Guard.
Nice. Well, speaking of performances and shows, how do you, I guess, pick out what songs are theme of the performance you're going to do? How does that take place?
So the way that they pick music is our music director, Mr. Mooney. He and our percussion person, Mr. Hull, and my color guard coach, Coach Skaggs, they will all get together, and they have like a website that they look at that already have like songs put together, because each show has like, a central theme with it. So they already have like pre-picked out songs, but they really just sit down and look at all that stuff. We can suggest stuff to them, but it's mainly them that pick it out. And they kind of keep it like a little surprise to us to see what like next year's show will be. So
how long does it take for you guys to learn a dance or performance?
I think it definitely takes a couple weeks. So for our first part of our show that we learn, we actually have a band camp during the summer for everyone, where we basically just review like basic moves and how to march and how to spin a flag and everything. And we spend 70 hours working on just the first part of our show. So that's marching and choreography. But definitely after we get that first part down, it's much easier to go into the other parts of the show.
Yeah. Dang, so a lot of work goes into
that. Yes,
it
is a lot.
And so before the year starts, you already have all the performances and I guess themes and shows that you planned out for that year.
Yes.
You don't add on to throughout the year.
For color guard, we really don't. The only times we'll really change something is maybe if during an all band practice that's with like the marching band and the color guard, when we go on the field and we see that some of our choreography doesn't work with the steps that we're doing or with the music we're doing, we'll change it then, but we don't do a whole lot. For winter guard, however, the choreography is really just left up to the team, which I think is really unique. Is our coach is really collaborative with us on the choreography, so that is just constantly changing. But specifically with color guard, if we see that something doesn't work, that's when we'll change it. But if not, we just try to keep it as easy as we can, because we're already juggling marching and spinning together, so it is a lot.
Do the students have any like say in what theme they want it to be or what songs?
Yeah, definitely. They definitely take suggestions, and they obviously are thinking about like the seniors and what they would want to do for their last show.
How many seniors are on the color guard this year?
We had a lot this year. I think we had like 5 or 6, which is definitely different because last year we had like 3.
So it improved
Yeah.
That's really good. How many people would you say is in it this year?
In the entire color guard?
Yes.
I think we had about 11.
Yeah. I know you guys have a pretty nice bunch of people, so that's always great to see people coming out, trying new things. And have any new people join this year?
Yeah, we actually had a couple freshmen join, which I think is super cool because when people typically join color guard, it's usually later in their school years. Like, I didn't join until I was a junior, which I really regret because color guard is awesome, but I didn't know about it. I didn't know about color guard. And last year, we'd actually had some of the people on the team go into the middle school and talk about color guard and try to get people to join, and I think that's what made them join. So we did have a couple freshmen join.
Well, that's great to see and great to hear. I hope you have a lot of fun with the time you have left, and congratulations to all the things you have accomplished in high school. I know you've done a lot. Yeah, so good luck to the rest of the year, and thank you for joining me today here on Down to the Wire.
Thank you.
That's a wrap for this week's podcast. Thank you for listening and tuning in. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to go check out our one-stop shop website for future sporting events, rosters, blogs, sponsors, and live broadcast. To get there, just look up sghssportstream.com.